Yeah, well, hello everyone who is watching. First, I want to thank you, Sharon, for including Omaha on this panel. Omaha is open and we're ready to host you and your reunion. Our hotels, attractions, and the downtown restaurants and shops are ready to welcome your group into their doors with the safest and most recent Nebraska guidelines being practiced. So as we reopen the city, as of June 22nd, we opened up to phase 3. We haven't seen the spike in COVID cases as other cities are experiencing. So now that we are in phase 3, that means we are 100% open, which means you can walk into restaurants for a meal and make reservations for groups up to 8 people. One thing we are seeing is masks are being required in attractions. So they're not necessarily being required in the restaurants or in public areas, but at the attractions, they are asking you to wear those masks.
Right now, as you know, West Virginia was kind of on the last state to come in on the bubble. We hardly had any cases when everything first started, but we're catching up rapidly. So we've had a spike since we opened everything back up. We've had a spike almost continuous, to the point where they mandated masks last week. So if you're anywhere in a public space, you have to have a mask on. If you're going to the grocery store, you have to have a mask on. Anything like that. You can take it off in a restaurant while you're eating, kind of thing. But that's about it.
Things are going pretty well. We're getting back slowly back to a better reality. We have a lot of our groups, even though the groups have unfortunately left 2020 and will come back in 21. We have a lot of transient guests coming in, and they're obliging by the governor's orders of mask and distance, and they're coming to the beach. They're coming to the beach on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Apparently, we have some hotels that haven't closed at all and done very well. They've helped out the economy of, well, not the economy of Daytona Beach, hospitals, etc., and first responders. But most of it, we had a great Memorial Day. And then going into the summertime, as you know, they want to get out. And as soon as we lifted phase 1, we had an enormous lift of transient guests. So they're betting on transient guests for the remaining of the year, unless there's another lift that we go into phase 2, 3, 4 real fast, that our groups can come back and we can go back to normal.
So right now, most of everything is open on attraction by attraction basis, but mostly everything is open. The Dover Air Force Base here is open to retirees and personnel. So, you know, regular civilians, unlike myself, I can't quite get on there. But if you're a retiree, you can get onto the base, which is great. Speaking for the Northeast, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, all the governors have been working pretty well together. So a lot of the same restrictions that are in Delaware are also within the Northeast. So everyone's kind of playing by the same rule book here in the Northeast, which makes it kind of nice. I just traveled back to PA 2 weeks ago, and they had the same thing going on there as it was here. So I just had to have my mask along with me, and then could fill up on gas and get a bite to eat. It was a great little trip. So Northeast, we're kind of all coordinating, which is pretty nice, especially if you're a traveler coming to the area.
Bill.
Yeah, so again, very similar. Most things are all open. Most restaurants, both indoor and outdoor dining, are open. Groups of 10 or less can be seated together. All but our high touch attractions are open. So the National Veterans Memorial Museum, Columbus Zoo and Aquarium, Franklin Park Conservatory, Museum of Art, all of those are open. But things such as like our Science Center, where it's high touch, hands-on, they have not opened yet. They could, they just haven't. Groups of 300 or less can assemble for religious or conferences and things like that with proper social distancing. Masks are required in our county. We do anticipate a statewide mandate probably very soon though. And yeah, we're slowly opening, and most of our shopping malls have all opened as well. Here we are.
Absolutely, Roger pretty much got everything that is going on in the state of Ohio. Thanks, Roger. As Roger, a lot of our venues are open. open. Hotels are open. We've got a few of the smallers, like the Packard Museum is not open, and some of our smaller venues where it's kind of hit and miss in some of our historical sites. But our really go-to, of course, the United States Air Force National Museum is open and running. They do have certain protocols that need to be met. The social distancing and masks are required. Also, Caroline Park is also open, which is good. And they've also got 2 restaurants that are also open and functioning. So that's very exciting for us. We're excited about that.
The state overall had seen lately in the past 2-3 weeks or throughout the month of June, cases resurge. Unfortunately, we've been top of the news cycle, but things are turning around. We've flattened the curve, the second curve, or no one knows, if we're still in the first phase, but cases are on the decline. As of today, I've probably seen 1,500 new cases reported. As far as the military reunion attractions go, the Arizona Military Museum is open in Papago Park, but it's limited. It's only open from Friday through Sunday. Hours are limited. The Arizona Commemorative Air Force Base is open, but again, limited to weekend hours from 9 to 3 p.m. starting Friday through Sunday. They're still doing the hero flights. They are, I believe, still currently flying over somewhere in Idaho or Montana. So that's still happening. Our hotels, we had 3 closures out of the 3. 2 had already reopened a while ago. Our Anchor Hotel in downtown, adjacent to the convention center, is reopening in about 9 to 10 days.
Well, we are in phase 3, so all of Virginia's in phase 3, which means we can have events up to 1,000 people if it's an outdoor venue. If it's an indoor venue as a private event or even a public event, it can only be at 250 for now. Hopefully in the fall that would change, but most of our reunions anyway fall into that number. We have to wear masks, that's mandatory. Since we're so close to Williamsburg and Virginia Beach, we've been kind of lucky. Our occupancy has been a lot higher on weekends than most destinations. So we've been doing pretty well with the opening. We're faring better than most cities are.
So we are in the Restore Illinois Phase 4. So all of our bars and restaurants are open to indoor and outdoor, and of course like a curbside pickup, mostly at a 50% capacity for those types of establishments. Like standing room in bars is down to 25, but they still, are allowing you to be indoors. We did have quite a heat wave over the past weekend, so I don't think many people were even out and about really, but our sites are opening. Right before I got on here, I just got the update of more sites and attractions that have opened up. So, most notably is our Presidential Museum is open. Again, there is some, social distancing requirements, masks, things like that. Our Illinois State Military Museum is open. We have all of our, the tomb actually just reopened today. Lincoln's Tomb opened today. And that's also where our war memorials are. So those are in outdoor spaces. So that's never really been like kind of closed down per se. All of our hotels are taking reservations. Again, we're allowing like the groups, most like everybody else, where it's about a maximum of 50. They will allow multiple events to be happening at the same time, as long as there's that ability to social distance everyone. They're doing things with staggering start times and everything like that, and making sure that, they can accommodate everybody as safely as possible. But, we're doing good, and we have never stopped working. We worked remotely through the entire quarantine, but and we didn't lose anybody. Our entire office is now back
That's so
in the
great.
office. So we've been back since June 1st. So
New York State is in stage 4. So that means most of our attractions are open. Niagara Falls State Park never closed, so the park itself has been open right along. It's wide open spaces, walk around, enjoy yourself. They do require masks on all of our attractions. So the Maid of the Mist boat tour is operating. The Cave of the Winds tour is also operating. You just need masks. Wineries are open. Restaurants are open and operational. And then with meeting spaces, the hotels can have up to 50 people currently in an event space at a time, but it's just the hotels. The conference and convention centers are all closed still, but smaller groups, military reunion sized groups should be okay.
So about a week and a half ago, our cases started to resurge, and we're still in phase 2, and our governor, we're under mask mandated, so masks are mandatory everywhere now. And he closed, the bars were open, so now they're closed again because that's mostly, populated, where everybody was hanging out and drinking and hanging out. So, but still, everything is still open, like as far as not the bars, but the restaurants, the attractions, limited people. So like as far as swamp tours, it's normally 22 people on the boat. Now it's only 9. Okay. And as far as the restaurants, you can eat indoors or outdoors. Groups up to 50 can gather indoors. The closed museums that we have are open. And the ones in New Orleans, as far as the World War II Museum, they're open. The USS Kidd in Baton Rouge, we're both an hour away from, they're open, doing social distancing as far as you're wearing your masks.